meditation. Do you hear that word and you're interested but have absolutely no idea where to begin? In today's video, I'm sharing the 5 simplest steps to get you started on your meditation practice today. Creating your meditation practice is something that can be fun and should be. And it should be simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be mystifying. The most important thing is that you cultivate a strong foundation for this practice so it can last you for a long time. The first thing that you want to do is create a sacred space. Now, for me, when I first started meditating years ago, my sacred space was a pillow that I took off of my couch. It was just a cushion that I would throw down on the floor, and that's where I would meditate. But that cushion was signifying that that corner of the room was my sacred space. So I made sure that that space was kept clean, wasn't filled with clutter, and that I didn't share it with other things. So since I've been able to grow my practice and thankfully expand my space, and now I have an altar, but it didn't start that way. So whatever you need to signify your practice for you, whether it's a chair or a cushion or a yoga mat, I want you to lay it down or place it wherever you need to, and make sure that the corner of your room, or if you are lucky enough to have an entire room, is only reserved for that practice. You don't want to share energies in the space. Because whether you make this a meditation space or just a space to go and breathe and relax and cultivate some inner peace, you want to make sure that the energy is genuine and that it's yours and it's clean. Step number 2 is to involve all 5 senses. So light some incense or burn a candle. Pour yourself a nice cup of tea, put on some music, or maybe nothing. Maybe you want complete silence, and that's cool too. A nice medium ground for that is I love to listen to frequencies. Depending on how I'm feeling and how much tension I have in my body, frequencies really help ground me into the present moment. You want to make sure that your clothes are loose and comfortable and cozy, something like this. And grab yourself a blanket. You want to make this experience unique to you. So put on some music that you like, burn the incense that you like, pour yourself a cup of tea, and prepare yourself in all ways possible for this meditation. Number 3, commit to a specific amount of time. So how long are you going to meditate for? How long are you sitting? I always suggest starting with 10 minutes. You'll soon find that once you set that timer for 10 minutes, it's gonna feel like an hour has passed and you're gonna wanna keep looking at the time. But I'm going to encourage you not to. I'm going to encourage you to trust that your phone didn't suddenly break. It absolutely knows how to tell time, and the timer will go off. Just be with your experience. Notice if you're uncomfortable and try to get familiar with that. If you set the time for 10 minutes, don't quit on yourself. Stick to it. You can spare 10 minutes and think of it as an investment into your well-being. Number 4, I want you to set an intention for today's practice. And I suggest setting a new intention each time you sit down to meditate. And the best way to get close and understand what intention is going to be best for you, as you settle down, just ask yourself, why am I sitting today? Why am I sitting today? And allow that answer to surface within you without judgment. And if you really struggle with an intention, a great one is to pay attention to my inner experience. That is a wonderful intention to start with because you can't go wrong. And that's a great prompt to remind you that your mind is 100% going to wander. You're going to get lost in your mind. You're going to think about all the things that you should be doing, all the things that you already did, and now you're thinking about how you could have done them better. And you're going to be projecting into the future, whether it's the rest of your day or the week or the month or the year. Your mind is not used to sitting still. So be graceful with yourself and continue to come back to your breath, which is our last step. Come back to the breath. That is your focus for a mindful awareness meditation. And I'm going to give you a quick practice here. I want you to place your right hand on your belly and then your left hand on your chest. And as you take an inhale, you can feel your body moving. And the same goes for the exhale. And if you place your hands there during your meditation, it'll help ground you into what you're actually doing here. Because sometimes if you sit long enough in silence, your mind is going to try and talk you out of sitting in silence. And it's going to tell you that breathing is ridiculous and you have plenty of other things to do. But when you connect with your hands to the breath moving in your body, you really do connect to the life force that is flowing through you, the ebb and flow, the changes that are happening all the time. You're only uncomfortable because you're finally paying attention to them. So great news! This is how you move and act all the time. It's only uncomfortable because you're paying attention to it for the first time. Keep coming back. The breath is so important, and not just because it's the reason that you're watching this video and that your brain is functioning and that your body's able to move, but it is a constant reminder to come back to the present moment, to come back to what matters most, the here and the now. Let me know in the comments if this helped you get a little more clear and more confident in building your meditation practice. And in my next video, I'm going to be talking about how to ground into the body when we're losing control in our mind. I think you're going to like it. I hope to see you there.